But I think if you see a clip like that, maybe it makes you take a minute to think, and it's like, wait, why the f would somebody lie about this?
Hasan thinks some swords are okay. What is this? Is this about the cracker thing? Holy shit.
There's also a doxing situation. Wild situation. I've learned that Twitter leftist spaces are places.
I think the problem is that he's truly not impartial. He aims to be. His public-facing thing is that he is, and he's like kind of a fence-sitter guy. But then he'll also like take Hasan's side and kind of protect like certain people on Twitch that he likes.
Have you ever been to an Asian country? If you don't think you can be racist towards white people, then you're mistaken. Oh, because in response to, you can't be racist to white people. Hasan said, brother said, I traveled to experience anti-white racism and doesn't recognize the privilege in that sentiment. Dude got bullied in high school and thinks reverse racism is real. Can't make this up. Cracker behavior. How the f did this stupid cheeseball clip flip the narrative so hard? I don't even know. I don't try to understand. Or no, actually it fits exactly what I said before. When I'm unhinged against people, people don't see like all of the stuff leading up to it, so they just see me being crazy. But I think if you see a clip like that, maybe it makes you take a minute to think, and it's like, wait, why the f would somebody lie about this? And it was like it was a pretty bad lie too. Like, it was unnecessary, it was over-exaggerated, and then it was like clearly demonstrably incorrect.
And this is real. I've only ever hung out with Destiny one time. And it was a terrible first impression. I doubt he would even know about it. But it was at like TwitchCon 2017 or some shit. 2017. I had maybe 100 viewers. The only reason I was there was to hang out with Cutie. And he showed up to the house that I was staying in. I think because he was hooking up with a girl there. I don't know. I don't need to out her name. And he walked in. And he kind of did a once-over on the room. I guess there weren't enough people that he was into or thought were cool enough or clouded, I don't know what. And he left within 5 minutes. But I remember he comes in and I go, cheeseball? And he goes, no. And ever since then, I was like, hey, just like every other human on this earth, I hope he does well. I hope he does good things. But the vibes aren't there for me. He wouldn't enter the cheeseball circle. That is the cheeseball vibe check.
Okay.
How are you?
Oh shit. There we go.
It's Judy again.
I'm from.
Go back. You're a millionaire.
So I go upstairs on the roof because we had like a weird like hangout spot on the roof. And I go upstairs on the roof. I stand on a table and I was like, if I don't know your name, get out of my house. And then I look at Destiny is high as fuck. Destiny is high as fuck on the couch and is staring at me like I caught him smoking weed for the first time and he's 14 and I'm his mother. He's just like,
one Destiny, Acid Land, Joe Mama, okay, Invader Legs. Are you actually shooting? No, I'm not shooting. It's a Snapchat.
Oh, what terms of service?
He said I would die for you. That's okay, right?
Oh, I'm in a video game.
In a video game. Yeah, in a video game.
I guess there weren't enough people that he was into or thought were cool enough or clouded, I don't know what. And he left within 5 minutes.
Don't know if you saw, but I just watched Aslan Gold's video about Hasan saying cracker isn't a racial slur. Isn't racism racism? Kind of, yeah. Racism is experienced in different ways by different people, and different power structures can create different types of racism. Like, as a white person in the United States, you'll never experience the same type of structural or systemic racism as a black person will. But on an individual level, you can experience racism of all sorts of varying degrees that could be worse than some of the structural or systemic stuff. Structural and systemic racism is a very weak form of racism. Like, it's pervasive and it's everywhere on a large scale, and it can impact everything, but the impact on an individual could be quite weak. Like, I would say that like individual racism is like the strong nuclear force, and systemic racism is like gravity, which I think is the weakest of the four. Do we even use fundamental forces anymore, or has that all been subsumed by quantum mechanics? Probably all been subsumed by quantum physics, but whatever, for my classical bros out there. If somebody's individually racist to you, somebody walks up to you, calls you a racial slur, tries to lynch you, kill you, whatever, that's like a very strong individual personal form of racism. But it's like very unique to situations. But the systemic or structural racism is way more everywhere. It's like gravity. Like every single atom is pulling on every single atom, and it's out there and it's everywhere. But it can be harder to see or feel sometimes, basically. What would be an example of systemic racism a black person might experience today in the United States? I feel like the majority of the racism is going to be like vestiges of the past. So, for instance, like the idea that you don't have much money, or you live in certain neighborhoods that are predisposed towards certain like types of crime or lack of economic opportunity. Those types of things are a lot of those are going to be reverbs from the past. Reverbs, echoes. Can a reverb be a reverb or an echo? Would you say echoes from the past? XXE and Asman have been such good allies throughout the drama. Do you think you'll look to invest more time in these relationships? I mean, like, the problem is we just exist so separately. XQC and Asmongold have more flexibility in evaluating my stuff because they're not, like, beholden to communities. Remember, the social pressures, Asmongold is his own thing and XQC is kind of his own thing, so they don't really have to worry about those pressures as much, so they can evaluate things a little bit more on their own. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll side with me, but they have that. But also, we just don't have much natural or organic crossover. I can't really collaborate with Asman on stream because I'm banned from Twitch. Yeah. And then me and Felix do sometimes, but... What are your thoughts about Keffel saying that she regrets building a bridge with you? Do your Israel takes? I don't really care. It's not like we had a strong bridge built anyway. It's what we just like made up at an event once, so fuck it. How does Hasan rationalize white racism as fictitious when there's native tribes that are white passing but experience systemic abuse? The Penobscot chief looks white, but the tribe was scalped for money. I don't know.
Hello.
Hi, what's up? I have limited time because I'm trying to cover stuff before I leave because I have to fly out to Vegas tonight, but what's up?
Yo, no, it's been a while since I've last seen you. How are you doing? I'm just jumping in. I mean, I DM'd you before, but like...
Spend that by the end of...
A friend of mine told me that you were having a hard time or something.
No, just fighting with people online. Same thing as always.
Okay. So nothing too serious.
Kind of, yeah. There's an annoying, there's a red-brown alliance. There's like an annoying pipeline that I have to like continue to maneuver around, which is people on the far right will kind of like make disingenuous clips of me, and then they get amplified by people on the far left, and then they go like really viral because the people on the far left, namely Hasan, have a whole bunch of social connections. So the frustrating thing is I'm seeing like people who have no ties at all to politics on these huge podcasts.
Fighting with Hasan.
Well, he's still the largest streamer of politics probably in the world right now. Yeah. But like random people that have never heard of me like know these weird random insults about me that aren't true, and it's like kind of f***ing my mind.
That is so weird. Like in the community that I now mostly hang out with, he's like barely ever mentioned, or if mentioned at all, then as a meme he's kind of seen as like the guy who choked his credibility on Putin's 2 years ago, basically. So that's it.
Yeah.
So he barely comes up at all. Wow. So you're still fighting with this guy for what, like 3 years now?
I mean, they're there, yeah. They're out in the background, yeah. But
well, are they fighting you? It's a big difference.
I mean, it's a little both. I mean, like, I'll comment on things that they talk about, and then obviously Hasan has started to talk about me a lot more. But all of it's always like personal. Like, it's never anything of substance. So it's just kind of frustrating, I guess. Yeah.
Isn't that actually always the case with all these like political disagreements? It's in the end, it's just people taking personal jabs.
Yeah,
every single time.
A little bit, yeah. I guess, yeah. But whatever.
Yeah, I've done a policy of like just ignoring people who attack me.
Sure.
And it's worked. People are leaving me alone, which is good. I enjoy that. Yeah. Well, I'm sad to hear that you still have to deal with that.
It's all good.
Well, I don't want to keep you up then.
Yeah, I come back from Vegas on the 16th, 17th. We can chat more then if you ever want to hop in and have a talk.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Have a good one, man. See ya.
Have fun. Be careful. Why don't you take the I'm above all of this approach instead of getting dirty with them? I think it might play better. Maybe. The problem is that the only problem is like what I just said is that like I just don't like it when random normie communities are getting like weird jokes or misinformation about me, because it's like, okay, well, I'm getting poisoned to audiences that I don't even remotely intersect with, which is like a little bit annoying to fight against. Isn't this unironically the perfect time for a manifesto? I mean, what would the manifesto be? Like, here are things Hasan's gotten wrong? I don't know. I'm not even sure what that would look like. I'm also like so much less interested in all of that now too. Like I would rather spend like as much time as I would spend on a manifesto, I'd rather spend it like growing my personal business or reading or like doing more like note work. What do you think your best course of action is to fight the hater or the hate being spread by the virtuous? Listen, the Daliban Twitter clip community on on Twitter is honestly probably the best thing to do for that. You guys have made some baller ass clips. If I could request one. If I could just get a clip, something that would be really helpful is like a 5 or 10 minute, I don't know how long the video would be. If I get a 5 or 10 minute video with the bottom left with the date, every time Hasan has made like a weird personal comment or attack about me over the past like 3 months, that would actually be really helpful. So people could get an understanding of why I hate this guy so much. All of the weird like divorce, cuck, abandoned father, nobody likes him, like all like friends abandoned, like all of those weird comments, the Gusano, the racist stuff, over that's like 3 or 4 months, that would be a baller ass clip, just so that I can, so people have an understanding of why. He calls you divorce Selly constantly. Yeah. You mentioned recently that you're cutting off far left people. Does this also include people like Lonerbox? No, Lonerbox I think does a good job at calling people out. I think I'm going to start to, there's 2 things I think in my personal life that I'm going to try to do that are so f***ing hard. One is setting higher expectations on people. So one of the things that I would say to like be my friend is that like just don't shit me or don't shit talk me behind my back and we're good. Like if you can not like me and say it to my face and behind my back, as long as you just like keep the same energy, I'm fine. But I think I'm going to start asking for a little bit more. Like I need somebody who's like willing to defend me. Like if you're in a space and I'm not there and people are shitting me, like I need you to say something. I think that's like, cause I do that for people that I'm friends with. That's one thing. And then a second thing is just having people be a little uncomfortable. I have a really hard time making other people uncomfortable. Except like in debate spaces. I don't know why. For friends, I guess I have hard times making people feel uncomfortable. If they don't do any of that, that's fine. But I just won't associate as much with those people, which is fine. Oh no, I haven't watched this clip. What is this? Hold on.
Has apparently a wonderful little segment called Review that his community calls when they look at like victims of sexual assault and find ways to poke holes in their arguments. So that's cool. With respect to hostages, the mission team found clear and convincing information that some have been subjected to various forms of conflict-related sexual violence, including rape and sexualized torture and sexualized, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. And it also has reasonable grounds to believe that such violence may be ongoing. Let's see. The mission team reviewed incidents of alleged sexual violence related to hostages in Gaza. Based on first-hand accounts of released hostages, the mission team reviewed clear and convincing information that sexual violence, including sexualized torture and cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment occurred against some of the women and children during their time in captivity and has reasonable grounds to believe that this violence may be ongoing. It is first-hand accounts. Okay. Based on first-hand accounts of released...
As opposed to what? Or, I mean, like, these are your goal? These are the best accounts you could get, are first-hand accounts, right? Isn't this what you want? Somebody telling you they got raped or assaulted?
Hostages, there are reasonable grounds to believe that female hostages were also subjected to other forms of sexual violence. That's it. This is the new information that they have. Not that this is the systematic directed by Hamas in the way that the original claims were. Can we read the first-hand accounts? No, they're not. They don't have first-hand accounts. Is this enough? No, this is not enough to indict someone. Of course, it's not enough to indict someone.
Wait, this is not enough to indict somebody? You only need probable cause. What are you talking about? If I go to a cop and I say, that person raped me, I'm pretty sure that's probable cause for an arrest, no? Now, you might like gather other evidence or whatever for formal charges. I feel like you can convict on eyewitness testimony alone, though. This is considered direct evidence. It's direct testimony. That's kind of funny that he's like, but I don't know. That is not probable cause for an arrest? Really? If I were to go to a police officer and I were to say, last night I got raped by this person, what else would you need for probable cause? If I accuse, let's look it up. If I accuse someone of rape, will they be arrested? Or wait, probable cause standard for rape accusation. It's probable cause for detention. For detention, if you detain somebody for a temporary investigation, the standard for that is I don't know what that standard is called, but it's very low. I think it's below probable cause. To arrest somebody, I think you need probable cause, right? Oh, reasonable suspicion might be for an arrest. Probable cause is a two-pronged standard. Investigators must demonstrate that it is more likely than not that the individual targeted for arrest actually perpetrated rape or some other type of sexual assault. I wonder what that looks like. Demonstrate. I wonder if eyewitness testimony alone gets you there, or what else would you need? Witness testimony is notoriously unreliable. Big L destiny. I don't know why you're saying big L when nothing you just said contradicted anything that I just said. Witness testimony is direct evidence, and I'm pretty sure there are people that can get convicted literally on witness testimony alone. Nothing that I just said there contradicts anything that you just said. Witness testimony can also be unreliable. That is true, but it is still considered direct evidence for crimes, assuming you witnessed it. Destiny, is your stance on platforming not unreasonable? You concede Hasan is a dishonest influencer, so he won't change his mind and is causing harm to others / you, but you still don't want him banned. I don't think you can ban somebody just for being harmful. That's probably not a good standard. I don't think. Why doesn't Hasan get shit for the white racism is fake stuff when the whole too white for the blacks, too black for the whites thing happens to mixed people? Isn't that a borderline groper belief? Oh, you don't colorism and stuff. You don't get anywhere into with progressives. Progressives do like the one drop rule, but they do it like in the exact opposite way that racists do it. Like it's yeah, like racists will use the one drop rule to like discredit anybody they can, and leftists or weird people on the left will use like the one drop rule to like, I don't even know how they use it. It's like Hasan's like transformation between white and Turkish person, like constantly, or like American or cultural Muslim, or yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird because it's stupid. It's all just like crazy weaponized.
Hasan thinks some swords are okay. What is this? Is this about the cracker?
What is the one drop rule? I'm going to be honest. I don't actually know. I just see it said so much. I think that the one drop, this is my assumption. The one drop rule is that like if you have any black in you whatsoever, you're too black to be considered white. Every person with any amount of black in them is black. The one drop of blood, you're black. And then that's enough for like a far right person or a Nazi or whatever to hate you. But then their movements are also like super multicultural now as well. So I don't know.
Hasan thinks some swords are okay. What is this? Is this about the cracker thing? Holy sh!
Context. So I personally donated 10K because I think it is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate. But I won't throw it on you. You know what I mean? No thanks. And some people are going to say that. You know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take.
About whether that's worthwhile?
Take. And if you're not against genocide at this point, like, keep your fucking money. Keep your $10,000.
Ludwig donates $10,000 to the cause that she agrees with, and she calls him a cracker. Come on, man. What the fuck are you doing?
Two wrongs don't make it right. He was bad and trying to appeal to everyone and not take a real solid stance, but Frogan should...
Hi, oh, hey, what's up? I got limited time because I got to leave pretty soon because I'm going to Vegas tonight, but what's up?
Oh, no, I just wanted to come and say hi. I fucking saw you got into shit over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm just fine with people, but don't worry, I got saved by the cheese balls in the end for my unhinged Twitter rant, so somehow we just made it out. Made it alive. How's your, do you like your Keppel's video? I saw you did a big one on her.
Bro, I'm the CEO of transphobia these days, man. What the fuck?
Really? I feel like even the trans communities don't like Keppel's anymore. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but wasn't there a bunch of stuff leaked? Hold on, wait.
That was another transgender activist who did their own analysis into her GoFundMe stuff too, which was a really great thread.
I don't. Wait, has anything leaked about any of the money that she spent? I don't know how much of this is public or not. About her 100K?
Well, yeah, we've got communications between her internal, I guess, team that does her work. Where it's just like, man, if people found out where the this money went, it would just be.
Oh yeah, really okay, yeah. Jesus.
So that's about what's come out, which, yeah, that's a big concern. And then there was some, like, again, please take these with a grain of salt because I got these from people in our community, dissidents. So I don't know because I don't have access to those server messages to refresh myself. But there was also a doxing situation where another creator, Bad Empanada, got doxed. His information just freely being shared around in a private Discord communication. So it's an all-around pretty shitty look.
Damn. That Bad Empanada guy does need to be an ex though. He was probably one of the
Bro,
worst.
that
human beings.
guy was like, oh, the reaching out I did was one message. I'm like, first off, it's on Instagram, and I'm not gonna have a whole staff on hire to keep messaging you.
Yeah,
and then it turns into like harassment.
Yeah, that guy legitimately like will dox and like call for people to get like assassinated and shit. He is unhinged and crazy. He's been banned on like 20 different accounts.
Dude, I saw like the criticisms, like, why didn't you reach out to an email? I'm like, I don't even think this guy has any form of like salient contact. Like everything is just a banned account or like some tertiary account or whatever. It's not like you can even reach out to that dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got it out of the way. That autistic itch in my head, which had like Kethels basically taking over, is gone. So I can actually do other stuff that isn't so overly controversial.
Nice.
But it's actually so insane. Like Jen, my wife, she's like, they branded her a neo-Nazi on this one like Reddit board, which is insanity.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're like, apparently Muda is like Indian. Indians are the original Aryan, therefore Muda is also a Nazi. I'm like, bro, this is some
fucking. You guys did organized by race probably before the Nazis did, right? That's I think is older
Probably,
than.
dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably, I guess,
right,
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was overall a interesting dive to go down into. I know that one of the complaints was like, I laundered Destiny and the Kiwi farms, and I'm like, well, first off, I openly condemned what the farms did, but it's such a weird thing having to sit down and explain like facts. Like I felt like what you have to do in like a debate where it's like, yeah, this is a scummy organization, but this is actually the facts of the case. Now, if you don't like those facts, then that's kind of on you versus everyone else, right? Like,
yeah, talk about a test for my moral consistency is defending Kiwi farms. I really do hate most of the people on there. It's a weird ass, horrible site, but yeah, to say that they're like causing all these people to kill themselves and everything is like probably not true. I think there's like one of these is true, maybe at most, and yeah, there's a lot of people to say a lot of dumb shit, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the funny things is like when they were like, you were friends with like Null and everything, and I'm like, I had to dig out that Monty clip where I'm like, he actually hates the guy, so this is the actual stance, and I have to like play that back, and I don't know, it was a wild thing. The whole Catboy Ranch stuff, which is weird because there's this like it's like you implied like grooming, I implied like grooming or something, and I'm like, I just said interactions with any minor is wrong, you know, like any kind of charged sexual thing where it's like, if I did that, I would be rightfully destroyed by my peers. And I'm like, I think it really just came down to there needs to be some self-policing, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. But yeah, wild situation. I've learned that Twitter leftist spaces are places that I will never ever want to even. I think that's actually worse than hell, to be honest. There's just no form of rational intellectual thinking anywhere in there, which is a shame. But what are you going to do about it, I guess?
Yeah. What's up? What do you want, Tom?
Hi. Sorry to derail. Are you guys done with that little
we are.
conversation?
What do you want?
So I've been looking into this Ludwig stuff. I've been doing a video, and everything seems to make sense to me from your perspective, except for one thing.
Hold on, wait, real quick. Where the f are you? Why are you in? Why is you so echoey?
Wait, is it? Hold on.
You might be using the wrong microphone.
Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. What's up?
Okay. All right. So, what can you tell me about Will Neff? Because I noticed you leaked something about Will Neff there, and from my perspective, it didn't really seem necessary to leak that, regardless if he is cheating on his girl or whatever. I just didn't really see the
I just hate the Caroline person so much.
You come after me, fuck you, you little worm, but then you come after my girl. Oh, okay. Alrighty. J. Marianne, thank you so much for the raid. Slime is our strongest warrior. Slime is also, he lives for replying on Twitter. Like, till the day he dies, he will be the reply guy in a way that is so delicious to eat up. Especially when Cutie said she can only handle so much hate and will one day just quit when it's been too much. It's also, here I am being like, I'm not going to talk about it. It's also something where you can measure a person, and this person doesn't need to be measured because we all fucking know, but you can measure a person based on how they use a situation of a woman who was sexually manipulated and her digital likeness used against her consent for sexual purposes. Using that as a way to hold one over, as a way to like have an own. Because you look at something like that and it's like, that's all you have. That's what you have. That's your big comeback here. How does that even work as an own? It doesn't. It doesn't. It's just another indicator of what a lowlife little rat person who would post that is. And someone who just belongs in the deepest, darkest sewers with all the other little rats. Yeah. What did the rats do to deserve him? I know. I mean, there's no animal I can use here that would justify the comparison, that like deserves the comparison. Because maybe just a dog shit, a tapeworm. Rats are very neat little guys. You're right. Okay. All right. I take it back. I'm sorry to the rats. I'm sorry. They don't deserve this. Do you and Will ever? No. Anyway, he better watch out because he's getting bitch slapped so hard it's gonna knock him into a third divorce. Errold, thank you for the 20 months. Anywho, all right, we have a lot of important things to cover today, and that to me is not important news. It's just the continuation of someone whose existence is not justified.
And all these people talk about me so much, and it's annoying, like knowing shit about them that it's just I hate.
Did Will Neff do that?
Do what? I don't think Will Neff talks about me much at all, but he was like fairly close friends with Melina, so maybe that's why not, but I don't know. Honest to God, it's funny because like going back and everything, honest to God, of all the stuff, because through other parties, I know of Will quite a bit. Will actually seems like an okay-ish guy. I've never heard him do anything like weird or I guess except cheating, but I don't give a that. But yeah, otherwise it doesn't seem like he does weird or crazy shit, so.
I guess from my perspective, it just seems weird to leak that when it didn't really seem necessary, I guess.
Oh, no, yeah, I just hate all those people. So, kind of like when you bomb an apartment complex, you get some civilians. Sometimes you just want to watch the people scream.
Fuck.
And I hate that Caroline person.
I feel like that's not really a good justification for that. Come on.
Probably not, no. I just hate the Caroline person. I'm not giving you a job. I'm just telling you why. I'm not saying it was like justified. I just really hate. Somebody said Caroline made fun of my divorce. There you go. Boom.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess at least I got an explanation for that, so I don't have to.
There wasn't like a sophisticated plan of like, this blah blah blah. Like, I don't think he's actually ever said anything to me in public. So that's we call those collateral damages. Here.
I'm actually so glad you decided to do that the same weekend I dropped this Keffels video, because I kind of like split the internet attention, where it wasn't entirely focused on that. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. But I don't know, man. I mean, that whole like Twitch side of the community, it just it seems. I've always said it. It always feels like some high school clique. If you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, then you're always going to be like an observer. And I don't really think there's ever really a reason to keep trying to be friends with people that will never let you in their clique. Like this one crazy chick, Frogan or whatever. Like Ludwig goes out and gives like I think 10K to Palestinian charity, like a specific charity. And what was the whole complaint there? Like she brings this cracker discourse. Like it's such a weird poison situation.
Frogan person is unironically like an internet terrorist. Like she's just a horrible, horrible, horrible human being, and her takes on everything are stupid. And she's just a terrible person.
You know what? I don't want to call out this because I'm going to say this because it pissed me the off. And being an anti-Semite openly and proudly is now likes on Twitter. Frogan, she tweeted out. She goes, I have a problem with my Zionist therapist. Just call him a Jew. I'm sorry, but you can't talk like that about any other minority. I had a problem with my Zionist therapist. What you taught your Zionist therapist? Did you get those level of details from them? You had an in-depth conversation about the politics of Zionism with your therapist? No, I know what you mean. You fucking Jew.
True.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and let my people, you know, be openly bigoted and racist. That shit. Nobody would expect that from any other minority. Nobody.
This is her like original take of this, by the way. I just went to therapy this is 4 years ago. I just went to therapy for the first time, and after talking about my dad fleeing the Israeli-Lebanon war, she was like, I'm Israeli. Do you have any issues with me being your therapist? Bruh, I was so taken aback. Frogan is constantly propped up by Twitch streamers and Twitch itself when she only averages 100 concurrent viewers. It just feels like one of those situations where they say it's diversity, but it just feels like nepotism all over again because some woman on the Twitch council really likes Frogan personally, almost for sure. Like, this is disgusting. Exciting news! Twitch has chosen me to be featured as a legendary woman on the front page, together for legendary women front page carousel, not just for March, but for the entire year. Frogan on October 7th. Leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America, but as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong.
Personally donated 10K because I think it is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate. But I won't throw it on you, you know what I mean? No.
Look at the bottom bar, emergency rent. Jesus Christ.
This is a cracker take.
Yes, this is.
Say that, you know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take. This is a cracker take.
Yes, I agree with the second one. It gets better.
I don't need to enter a fucking debate about whether that's worthwhile.
Okay.
Two wrongs don't make it right. He was bad and trying to appeal to everyone and not take a real solid stance, but Frogan should have called him that. No, I don't give a shit about like someone being called a cracker, okay? As someone who is white and has like used that word myself.
Like the denims, Frogan, Mike from
Bro,
PA.
I cannot stand denims. Like, she looked at the thumbname for this Keffels video, and it's like, well, that's just transphobic. And I'm like,
yeah,
all
she is
right.
also a horrible, terrible person. Her, Mike, and Frogan all share like the worst of like how you can be as people, yeah. And they're all dumb, and they're all like very confident, and they're all like very judgmental, and yeah.
Yeah, the whole community can go. But like, anyways, aside from all that, what are you doing up in Vegas, dude?
Just doing a couple
FaceTime?
shows. So,
Oh, nice.
And then, yeah, the Hodge twins. Hopefully they don't kill me, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Yeah. Or
You going to the Hodge twins?
Yeah, we'll see.
Bro, I haven't heard that name in forever. The guy I started my channel out with over a decade ago was like their biggest fan, and they were like different dudes. And like, I literally only saw them like when COVID started. I was like, bro, they're still here and kicking. And then I saw what they were making. I'm like, oh shit, they're in that side of the internet. Insanity, dude.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, I just wanted to type and say hi. Fucking, you know, keep it up with you. But yeah, man, take care, and you know, safe flights to Vegas.
Yeah, love you, buddy. Careful.
Yeah, love you, man.
What else do you want, Tom? Anything else?
I guess, is there any like big through line for this drama? I guess you said it wasn't like a calculated thing. But do you think like long term what you've revealed, I guess, or exposed a little bit will have consequences for these people, or do you think they'll be just fine?
No, they'll be just fine.
Okay.
The through line is basically that as Hasan started to get more popular after he left my community or we split or whatever you want to call that. Hasan is very networking focused. Like, he's very good at like making progressively larger friends and like getting involved in those networks of people. But part of him being involved in those networks, there were two huge parts. One is kind of like the spreading of his political message, which these communities are already receptive to because it's kind of like young Zoomer communities who are very online.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it. And then the second part was like the exclusion of me or anything relating of me to me from these communities, which was very frustrating because that meant that basically any large event now, even when I wasn't banned on Twitch, I'm like never getting invited to. So even though personally I might have a lot of decent relationships with people like Mizkif or really like any of these other big streamers, I mean generally like okay-ish terms with most people, or good terms with a lot of them. S-Fan, yeah, these other people, Soda Pop. But as that happened, like those two things happened. So the spread of the crazy political views throughout that whole Twitch community. So now you've got people like, you know, that Caroline Kwan or all these people talking about politics that have no idea what they're talking about.
Quick question.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
What about Jesus Christ?
That's where he's from. Nazareth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the demographics back then?
Please say Palestinians. I'm just kidding. She wouldn't do that. That would be pretty funny though.
That would have been
Year zero.
Just about, yeah.
Just about BC. It would have been a mix of Palestinian. It would have been a mix of Palestinians, Jews. Palestinians, Arabs, Jews, and Christians.
It was a mix of people in this area.
But Palestine.
And that changed over time.
Well, yes, but under.
They got along back then?
Yes. So.
Wasn't it? I don't know my ancient history. Wasn't it the year? Was it 70 BC or AD when like the whole Jewish kingdom fell and Rome like fucked them all up? They were all getting along back then. Is that what we're saying right now, or what? Like,
This is a common misconception. Okay, people think that Muslims, that Arabs and Jews have been feuding for centuries, when in reality.
Wait a minute. How can there be Christians before Jesus?
Well, we're talking
they were
about
like early. They just knew. They had a good feeling.
We're talking about like Jesus. Are you talking about before, like as Jesus was?
There's no way a baby can be born and all of a sudden there's a religion.
What? Bro, there's so much weird. I don't even know what the fuck I'm listening to. I don't even know what the fuck I'm listening to right now. They give the most unhinged takes. It's all repeating stuff that Hasan has said, and then Hasan kind of controls like the social tendrils of these communities. And then as a result of that, a lot of the people in those communities start to they either have weird ideas about me or they repeat them to kind of like be part of the clique that Hasan kind of tries to control. And Ludwig is probably the most guilty of that. And he's just said some wild things about me, like accused me of doxing Hasan, accused me of like my community as like being the progenitors of like some weird hate death threats or whatever that wasn't true, like just like a lot of random like weird like side comments. But then all of Ludwig's friends develop that shit, and then it also gets spread. And seeing that slime dipshit start talking about me like on, I didn't even care about the comment on the show. Like I saw it, I don't even think I said anything. I was like, whatever. And then I saw him talking about me on Reddit, and I was like, okay, that's weird, whatever. But then he made the Twitter thread, so then I responded with the like, really, did this need a whole Twitter thread? And then he instantly goes into the cuck jokes. Like at that point, my brain is just broken. It was like, okay, well, all of these people, let's just start like bombing everybody. That was basically my mind.
Yeah, I mean the thing that I've kind of hated about Ludwig, that it kind of took me a while to realize, because I just never really watched his stuff for a while. I started watching him on stream, and I just noticed that I feel like there's nothing wrong with being impartial in videos if you're doing commentary stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with being kind of impartial. But I think the problem is that he's truly not impartial. He aims to be. His public facing thing is that he is, and he's like kind of a fence sitter guy. But then he'll also like take Hasan's side and kind of protect like certain people on Twitch that he likes, and he'll step outside of that to make weird comments. So that breaks his journalistic integrity, right? That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So I hate that, and I also hate the moral effing about stuff like making fun of certain things, making fun of Ludwig's wife or whatever, when they are willing to throw pot shots at people, as long as it's the most socially acceptable people to go after, right? And then you have their communities who are like, oh, Destiny went too far, when people like Hasan have gone too far, hundreds, who knows how many times, not just against you, but like laughing at cops dying, or the whole the thing about like laughing at Kyle Rittenhouse crying on the stand, and stuff like that, or laughing about cops.
Are you okay? No, you shot me! Are you okay? Echo 7, 1081.
It's like innocent,
questioning the
cops
accounts that they
shot.
come from people they don't agree with and all that. Yeah, that's my like. I don't think I would ever get upset at like Nick Fuentes's community for calling me a cuck or like making fun of my divorce, because it's like, okay, yeah, you guys are. Yeah, I know where you guys are, of course. But then when I see these people who, moral f or whatever over like every little itty bitty thing, but like when it's the right target, they can go unhinged. It's like, f you guys, like this is that. But
yeah, it's definitely another part of it that's like harder to articulate from like I guess like a points perspective, like evidence perspective, is just like the appeal to like content creation to me has always been like that it's not mainstream. It's not like, you know, all that kind of cringe shit that goes on in Hollywood. And then now the state of Twitch is like there's 10 Jimmy Kimmels basically who are running the website and are the most popular people. And they literally created their own award show for it where they just jerk each other off. And, you know, not to get transphobic here, but the fucking up and coming featured creator was Dylan Mulvaney, who is somebody who's not really a creator and was just like fucking bolstered by the, you know, powers that be, literally astroturfed into fame, and now nobody's ever even fucking heard of Dylan Mulvaney.
One of the funniest things is that for that Frogan girl, she won the Rising Star, like up and coming star, 2 years in a row. Like she was never up and coming, and she never up and came. Like she just
but like how many fucking viewers does she even have? Like she's not like a famous person.
You're either a star or you're not. You know what I mean? Like what? I feel like this award should be like. A falling star award, bro. That'd be so funny. I would clear.
Honestly, okay, it makes me really upset. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to cry, but it really does make me really upset. Listen,
No, she's not. She's just a Hasan mod, literally. That's it.
Yeah, but once again, this is like, it's like Hollywood. It's just about who you know. It's about who you're friends with, which is why I've always hated that kind of group of people. Not that they're all necessarily even like terrible people on their own, but just in the position they're in, they act very silly with their audience, I think, and I generally don't like that. And the thing about Ludwig is I do like some of the things he's done. Like he is like a pretty impressively business-minded person. You know, he's built a bunch of cool brands. He's built off-brand, which I don't think is making a lot of money. I think he talked about that in Colin and Samir. I think they brought in like 12 million and spent 10 million on it, so they, you know, made 2, but then they have to pay everyone.
Yeah,
so,
and he supported
but I
like
still
game
think it's
scenes
cool
and like tournaments with like prize purses, like he donates. Like, yeah, it seems like yeah,
like all that shit is really cool. But then it's just like you throw this one friend into the mix who has hatred for you, and then it seems to kind of question their integrity as a whole. And ultimately, I think it's like if you want to watch Ludwig's content, I think that's fine, but you just shouldn't see him as like a particularly good or honest person. Another thing I really hate that he makes comments like this. Maybe I'm just a genuinely bad person or something. Maybe I'm a fucking asshole. But he makes comments like, I don't hate anyone. I hope everybody does well in life. Hope everybody succeeds. Like, nobody actually thinks that way. Obviously, like, it's nice to say that sometimes, you know, sometimes in your best moments, you'll have a boogie moment. You'll be like, oh, I love everyone. But generally, like, somebody fucks you over. There's somebody you don't like. You're going to be preying on their downfall a little bit. You're going to be like, fuck that guy, right? It's human nature. So I just don't like the idea that it's just like a very fake positivity. Once again, like Jimmy Kimmel, like, I love everyone. I hope everyone does well. And I think it's
an aesthetic
right now.
It's an aesthetic, right? Yeah, it's like the liking everybody or being nice to everybody. Like if you actually did that, that'd be fine. Like I said, like my issue is only like I don't care if any of these people like me. Just don't talk about me. But then when you greenlight these like weird attacks on me, and then you're like, oh, but we love everybody. It's like, then why not tell people not to like shit on me or make random jokes about me, right? Like where were you when that guy on your show was like spam posting that black chick getting railed on Twitter? Like where was your love for everybody then, right? It only comes out when they want a virtue signal. To their audience is annoying, but whatever. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I want to talk about. Take it easy, buddy.
I love you. Be careful. Bye. How is it? I get like every fucking celeb in my Discord on the day where I'm only streaming for a few hours. Jesus. It's only bad when Frogan does it. What is this? Hi, what do you want? I've got to leave soon, so unless you've got something super relevant to talk about, what's up?
Okay, I have nothing relevant to talk about. I just wanted to say hi.
Okay, be careful.
Okay.
Jesus. It's only bad when Frogan does it.
What's up?
What up, nigga?
No! Wait, the guy said that about me 50 times. I can say that.
It's so odd. It's so strange, bro, that a 40-year-old man with a child, 2 divorces under his belt, openly saying the N-word, and it's 65% upvoted. And I might be mistaken, but I did not hear Asmongold's subreddit up in arms over it.
I'll say this a million times, but maybe people don't understand, or maybe Hasan, I truly can't tell if he doesn't understand or if he's just so blinded by like the clout and the hate. Okay. I don't think I've ever in my life, even when I was the most edgy, you can go dig back. There are clips of me talking about slurs like 12, 13, 14 years ago. I don't think I have ever defended calling somebody a slur. I don't understand how that is so f***ing hard to understand. There's a huge difference between saying a slur, saying nigga, versus like calling somebody the N-word. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's such like, it's an obvious, like, does anybody have to even, like, that's so painfully obvious that to pretend it's like, wow, people were mad at Frogan because she called Ludwig a racial slur, but then here's Destiny just saying the word, like, wow, how hypocritical. No, that would be like saying, I can't believe people are mad at this guy. People are pretending to be mad at Rittenhouse because he shot and killed a person, but people weren't mad when this guy went to the range. Rittenhouse only fired, 5 shots. This guy went to the range and he unloaded 1,000 rounds across all these different targets. He was there for hours. Why isn't anybody mad at him for shooting a gun, but they were mad at Rittenhouse for shooting a gun? Well, because he shot it at somebody. You f***ing retard. Jesus Christ. It's like such an obviously different thing. Like, why is nobody mad at this? Because I'm not calling anybody the N-word, you f***ing retard.
I did not hear Asmongold shitting on this behavior, and I'm sure he would be against this kind of thing, for the record. Okay? I didn't actually see XQC up in arms about...
Saying a slur versus calling someone a slur. These are the... Oh, good job, yeah. Oh, whoops. They don't consider Cracker a slur at Destiny, and he smuggled in that she's white passing, so it's more okay. Why? Why does that make anything okay? Like, okay. Objects are at a whole different level now. All that matters is the instant emotions and the gotchas, even if they're completely baseless. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. Do we have a name for the insult stacking that Hasan does all the time? Instead of just addressing what was said, just bring your divorces, plus your child, plus 5 other negative things, weird as fuck. I mean, it is what he... I mean... that's just insulting someone. I don't know what you wanted to say.
Am I just being a victim when I say that I don't like getting jumped or being what in high school? I got shit because of my skin every day. This got bullied in high school and thinks reversalism is real. Give me an example. A man thinks reverse discrimination is simply mean words that you're feeling. That test designed to keep you at all subjugated. The mean words are sitting there. Not misunderstanding racism. Okay. Oh, man, brother is off the fucking rockers, man. This would make a dope rap album. Wait, but that's it. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Well, that's just racism. What? Bro. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Bro, this Discord is off the fucking rockers. Guys, what the fuck is reverse? Guys, what is reverse racism?
True. It was technically just racism, right? Those logs were crazy. Are those posted in my... Oh, yeah. No, wait, this isn't that. This is a clinic as to how easily people can manipulate Reddit. Divorcelli/XQC Juicer comes into Discord, makes up a story about being a white guy who was beat up for being white in high school. I try to explain him the difference in systemic racism and him being bullied in high school. Everyone in Aspen, that's not why people were mad though. Like he can't even summarize an event that happened hours earlier where his own logs are floating around publicly. This isn't why people are mad. If you just say like, hey, I understand your individual experiences, but like there's a difference between that. That wasn't what happened though. Okay, where are the logs? We can just read them on stream. They're unhinged. Tony, I think we need a better slur against white people because cracker doesn't hit hard enough. Damn, so I guess me growing up in my shitty poor neighborhood / family and experiencing people with me for being white for 10 plus years and getting jumped multiple times means nothing. Great. Hasan says anti-white racism is entirely victimhood seeking. It's like Zionists crying that people are mad at them for defending Israel's actions. It's perceived victimhood. No different than complaining that you were slighted at a gay bar for being a heterosexual. This is not... I just tried to explain to him the difference in systemic racism and him being bullied in high school. That summary is not even remotely reflective of reality. Like, holy shit, how f***ing dishonest you have to be. Have you ever been to an Asian country? If you don't think you can be racist towards white people, then you're mistaken. Oh, because in response to, you can't be racist to white people. Hasan said, brother said, I travel to experience anti-white racism and doesn't recognize the privilege in that sentiment. First of all, privilege for traveling really depends on where you're from. I don't know if Hasan doesn't recognize to say that traveling is privileged is a very American take, because like if you're European, traveling to other countries, or if you're Asian, depending on where you live, traveling to other countries is not as anywhere near big a deal as it is in the United States. In the United States, traveling to another country might be $1,000 worth of hotel and flight or more. In Europe, it might be like a $15 plane or train ticket. Like it just depends on where you're at. This is such a stupidly American statement to say. Yeah. I lived in this majority black city and they were racist to me for being white. Yeah, sure, bro. I also love this take that like black people or people of color are impossible, can never be racist. It's like, oh yeah, you went to a place with all brown people and you're telling me there was still racism? Bullshit. Next, you're going to tell me they didn't eliminate poverty either. Come on, bro. We all know that people of color are perfect and it's only white people that are the source of all ill in the world. Isn't that what Yakub said when he created them? Like, this is such an unhinged take. Am I just being a stupid victim when I say that I don't like getting jumped for being a white 14-year-old at my high school? I got shit for the color of my skin almost every day. Dude got bullied in high school and thinks reverse racism is real. Can't make this up. My man thinks racial discrimination is simply mean words that hurts my feelings. That's not even what he said. He said getting jumped. But also, I'm sorry, do we not believe in microaggressions or like racial slurs anymore? Is that not a thing, or they don't matter anymore? And not an entire system designed to keep a whole ass group subjugated, and the mean words are secondary to this perceived grievance. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of racism and the way we conceptualize it. And it's funny because he doesn't even understand when we talk about like systemic racism or when we talk about like structural racism. It doesn't have to be designed to keep a whole ass group subjugated. It can happen as a byproduct of the design as well, right? This is one of the things that makes systemic racism so hard, or systemic sexism so hard to like tease out, is that it's not always a system that's designed just to oppress a person or oppress a certain group. Like it could do that as a byproduct of other things that aren't being taken into account, right? You can have like a racist system without a single racist actor involved. That's what makes it so like insidious and difficult to, I guess, like tear apart. Yeah. Am I just being a stupid victim? This would make a dope rap album, fam. My biggest fear as a white person is being discriminated against. People said mean words to me or robbed me. I was much richer compared to the tourist area I was in. Or compared to the tourist area I was in. No one talks about this. Literally, white genocide 1984, Orwell was right. This kind of person should be, I don't know, they shouldn't be permanent. But like, you understand, just to be clear, what this guy is saying is that like, if you're a wealthy person and you go into an area with less wealthy people, they have a right to rob you, by the way. Like, that's essentially what this person is saying, right? Where is Hasan? Does anybody have the clip for Hasan talking about how, like, at least, like, if girls are getting at wealthier colleges, at least it's a little bit better? Doesn't we have that clip? How big an issue do you think gun control is? I feel like if Dems were more pro 2A, they could pull a lot of support from moderate. I don't think gun control is a big issue. Or, like, I think people make it a bigger issue than it actually is. I think Dems should just drop gun control. I don't think it's, yeah. I guess this is congruent with Hasan, like, saying that, like, yeah.
They were, at least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.
That's such a wild fucking take. So I guess it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Wealthy people should get raped. Wealthy girls should get raped. And I guess wealthy people should get robbed if they're in less wealthy cities, I guess. But yeah. You definitely did something to deserve getting jumped. No one just gets randomly jumped. As you get banned for being 14, rethink your interactions. Yeah, nobody would ever get randomly robbed in a place before. No shot. You must have done something. You must have provoked something to do that, right? You must have said something to yeah, like, Jesus. Hasan's Discord is wild. It's like unhinged as fuck. To be fair, everything is privileged to Hasan, son of a multi-billion-dollar financial conglomerate vice president, University of Miami attendee, Rutgers transfer, and cum laude graduate, to web series host on Uncle Jenk's multi-channel news network, to the first multi-millionaire Twitch streamer of Marxist Porsche socialism. Haha, true. Can white people experience racism in the U.S.? In school, we were taught racism means power plus prejudice. When you're talking about like structural or systemic racism, it does. But to say that like, I think on an individual level, everybody knows what racism looks like. Calling somebody a racial slur is probably always racist, even if somebody has more or less power than the other person. How does Hasan reconcile when he says with the fact that over 50% of his audience are jobless trust fund babies? I don't know. They never view themselves that way. The reason why the Capri Sun Poppy, is this a Vosh viewer or a Hasan viewer? I forgot. I've seen this name before. The reason why the Ludwig Agren, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, clip is unsettling. They mean unsettling. It's not because he didn't donate enough money or didn't do the watermelon charity stream. It's the last part. He didn't join the charity stream was so he didn't upset those who have mixed feelings about it, Zionists in his community. He capitulated to the Zionists, and that sucks because I know he stands with us. It comes across like fence sitting. I don't think he intended to do that, but it's damaging for the movement. Destiny, it's Dominic's brother. You debated his brother with the PhD dude weeks ago. Oh, this is Dominic's brother? Oh, I didn't know that. Crazy. Damn, Acid Communist has my alt account blocked.
From the
5
Gaza
minutes.
Strip.
Oh, and it's so quiet.
Anything short of that is a non-starter for the Israeli war cabinet. Possibly can. From the Gaza Strip. Anything short of that is a non-starter for the Israeli war cabinet. Bullshit. We Ethiopians are also proud of Israel. May victory be for the Holy Land of Israel. Amen. Yeah, dude. Hey, as an Ethiopian, good luck in Israel, okay? They're going to cut off your fucking ovaries, as they have done to the Ethiopian Jews in Israel.
Jesus.
As regular practice.
Hasan is talking about the Discord cracker thing right now. My God. At this point, do you think Hasan and Jank are anti-Semitic? I don't know. I don't think so, but it's like indistinguishable from... I feel like some of the anti-Zionist stuff people say is indistinguishable from anti-Semitism.
Break at the top of the hour, so I'm running it now.
Oh, ads. Thank God.
Also, the other reason why people are extra mad about Frogan, who is like white passing herself.
White passing?
Half fully white, calling another full white person and their activities to be one born out of privilege and a privileged blind spot, saying it's cracker behavior. The reason why that is considered completely and utterly unpermissible is because she wears a hijab. Because no matter how white your skin is personally, you will have your whiteness status revoked by other people who don't consider you to be a part of the in-group. But if you want to understand how laughable...
It's so sad because, like, somebody... There's some guy that hates me right now is making a clip where I said that, like, Hasan typically doesn't play the id poll stuff, the identity politics stuff as much on stream anymore because he's, like, leaned hardcore into the tanky shit. I guess he does borrow from it, though, when it's convenient. Like, Jesus, that's so cringe. We're on some hardcore id poll shit right now to pull to pull this out of the hat.
In a marketing initiative, could crack jokes about it. Think about how fucking polite these guys have to be professionally. That's why it is unimaginably idiotic. And that happened 2 years ago, 2 whole years ago. And yet there are still newcomers to the conversation trying to champion the cause. This is what I try to explain to people to hopefully shake some sense into them. Wheaton sent me a cracker pass, if you guys remember. Like they had a marketable moment, like a brand moment, making fun. If they were to do that for any real slur, they would understandably get destroyed.
What does he think this is like proving his point? This like weird appeal to popularity? Yeah, you can shit on white people. Yeah, no doubt. Everybody knows that. If I were to call like a black person an Uncle Tom, and then Oreo were to like reach out to that guy like, hey, we can send you a pack of Oreos if you want. Like, do you think people would accept that? Probably not. Does that make like, what is the argument here? That like, since another company made this joke along with me, it's okay, but they wouldn't make the same joke for like, what are we talking about? Like, it's such an, this is stupid. I feel like I just want to leave all this shit behind. It's so dumb. It's such a dumb, like, also the irony of like tanky Hasan using corporate appeal for the validation here when they talk about rainbow capitalism and shit all the time. But I guess when the corporations are supporting you, it's like the most important thing in the world. My God. Hey, my N-word, can you explain why Hasan purchasing expensive clothes and cars contradicts his socialist beliefs? Thanks, dude. I don't think that having that stuff necessarily contradicts it. I think the contradiction is if you believe that capitalism is an inherently evil system, one, it feels weird that you would maximize your existence in a capitalist system as a hyper-consumerist, which he is. Like, it seems strange to believe that a person that wants to advocate for socialism or communism or these kind of like more collective responsibilities is also like a hyper-consumerist, because that's a pretty unique thing that only ultra-capitalism can deliver. So that feels weird. It's not necessarily bad, it just seems a little off. The bad part is that, like, well, if you feel like capitalism is immoral, then the fact that none of your businesses are structured in an anti-capitalist way and you're not like putting significant time into fighting capitalism when you've got the resources, time, and ability to do so, now that just makes it seem like you don't believe that. It's a grift. Like, you're not bought into that idea. Like, if somebody says that, like, oh yeah, like, I'm anti-capitalist, but you're a hyper-consumerist, which is something only capitalism can deliver, and then you don't structure your businesses or devote a significant amount of time, given the capability and resources you have, into pursuing like socialist means, then it feels like it's not that important at all. If it's like super, especially when the defenses that you use for why you do the things you do are just defenses for poor people. Like, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism is something that you would say to a guy that makes $35,000 a year who can't afford anything else. It's not something you would say to a millionaire taking a private jet in his $2,000 outfit to Coachella, right? But yeah, well, I love you guys. Be careful. I'll be back on the 17th. I should be streaming. Clip community on on Twitter is honestly probably the best thing to do for that. You guys have made some baller ass clips.
And then out of nowhere, then out of the blue, my name gets brought up. Destiny. Not in a big way.
I always wondered how many views you'd get if you were ugly. But then I watched Destiny stream.
That's an easy copy paste to Reddit roast. Whatever.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Just my name getting brought up.
Guys.
But, you know.
Guys, chat, I could pull the ripcord, chat. I could pull it.
Guys, if you want to support this event, this costs a shit ton of money, but it can all be paid back.
Chat, guys, I'm gonna pull it. Chat, I'm gonna pull it. Chat, I'm gonna pull the ripcord, chat.
I'm gonna be reimbursed for the firearms stream.
Yeah, we can reimburse you.
When it comes time to take a side, you gotta reimburse every streamer however much it costs.
Okay, don't even say.
Ludwig doesn't take stances.
Did you see there's an LSF post already? People are very mad at me.
About what? Ludwig will be like, yeah, guys, I'm on every side possible. Why are they mad at you?
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it.
Are they actually?
So mad.
He took down a story.
See what this fucking.
What is the hardest job on earth?
Because Hasan said that he was going to stop fucking his ass if he actually left up a video where he made like a 2-second clip where he joked about something that Hasan had said about the streamer privilege.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Now, as you can imagine, this clip went mega viral.
And Hasan was so unbelievably sensitive.
But I wanted to talk about this as a streamer myself for almost 6 years now on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I would look. I just.
Oh God!
More sensitive than the head of his cock after Ludwig spent 2 hours polishing it with his tongue. Okay,
that's so fucking dumb. Like, ay.
I thought there was something like more insidious in here. I got it.
Oh God! Oh my God! He showed the context though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the context. It's just like. What's funny?
Wait, how long is he about to go mauled over this comment?
You should call Hasan and apologize. Why is Hasan mad? What did I do? I feel like everything I said was fine.
He said, call Hasan, he's crying unironically.
That's the deal. I'll just fucking pull him out of the thumbnail. But I don't think the content of what I said is something I would say in public or to a person.
He was so sensitive that Ludwig deleted that whole video.
That was, in part inspired by Hasan. I talked to him about doing that. Good ass fucking time. That's a change on the fly, baby. That was a mobile mail that I uploaded yesterday. You might not have seen it though, because I took the video down.
Lied about why he deleted the video.
The reason I took it down is because we had a great sponsor on it, but the great sponsor wasn't getting great views.
It's always. And then reposted a new video.
I figured, maybe a Minecrafter will do something dumb and I can just talk about that and throw a sponsor in and everybody will be happy.
Where he blamed my entire community for harassment because of one random DM he got from a guy on Twitter who had nothing to do with me.
I was just being used in a proxy war for people who don't like Hasan. Now, this is the DM from a guy. It said no balls. And then I scrolled up in our DMs and I found out that this dude was my viewer 5 years ago. And has since moved on, I think, clearly to like watching Destiny, and on Destiny's behalf wants to like make Hasan's life a lot worse. And then
What a dick suck fucking comment. Ludwig is like such a decently cool person, other than the fact that he's such a spineless fuck and carries so much water. I don't know if it's like a cloud obsession thing or if he legitimately just enjoys getting his ass fucking rimmed by Hasan every day. But like, it's especially frustrating because Ludwig knows better. He knows how irresponsible, stupid it is to take one fucking DM and pretend that it's exemplary or exemplifies an entire fan's fan base or an entire streamer's fan base. Like, what a stupid comment to make. You know better than this. You know that you would never stand for anybody doing this. That if I were to go up to you or if anybody else were to make a comment like, oh, wow, Ludwig's fans think this because one guy DM me and he follows Ludwig on Twitter, which, by the way, I don't think this guy followed me or Hasan or maybe not even Ludwig on Twitter, right? You know how stupid it is to make this type of generalization, but he does it anyway to defend his fucking friend Hasan? How weak. What a spineless thing to do. Or it was just literally Hasan wrote the script for him to do here and he read this alongside the advertiser's script.
which is bad of me.
Right? Like, I mean,
People don't really give a shit about the context.
obviously, like, yeah, he's trying to play both sides with this.
People don't really give a shit about the conversation.
Ludwig wants to have a large brand appeal.
Chat. This is lovely. Chat is lovely.
And that's why he doesn't really go in on a lot of social issues the same way that I or Hasan do.
Guys, I'm on everybody's side.
Or XQC.
I'm on your side and your side.
Or Destiny.
What a fucking liar, dude.
Like, he doesn't want to do that.
Just care about getting Twitter likes. Sorry. Nobody gives a rat's ass about the facts. Sorry, I'm a journalist reporting the facts.
This is like Destiny just reading about Israel Palestine on Wikipedia and then hopping in.
If Ludwig did explain what he thinks about Israel and Palestine, I bet he probably wouldn't really know what he was talking about.
And then hopping in.
Yeah. And we'll come and say, hey, yo, lad, you need to take one side. It's now we need to make a decision.
Yeah, except he read the Wikipedia page wrong. He mixed up 2 sections.
And Ludwig do it like this. And he just disappears.
Now he's making 20 Mongol mail.
Like, chat, every time, chat, you know for Jack, you know he does that.
Making 20 minutes.
You know he does.
You hear Drake's up against Palestine?
Slime replies a bunch. Eventually, Destiny quote retweets him and says, did you really need a whole ass tweet thread? And then Slime said, sorry, should have just posted this. Just crazy. Typical Slime.
Because he's not spending all the time doing it. He's not invested into this.
Destiny goes, lol, are you okay? Ludwig's second generic white friend. You can always just not talk on stuff you're clueless about. I'm flattered you spend this much time on Reddit posting about me.
Like, he doesn't have a personal interest in it.
Slime replies, it's just the funniest thing about you. Ludwig seems cool, but he sure associates himself with some cringe people.
I'm on everybody's side.
He tries as hard as possible to appeal to the widest set of people possible.
He's on everybody's side.
Which is a lot of words to say just, I have immaculate vibes.
And when it's time to choose, he vanishes.
Me and Slime are different people.
Every time.
Well, he's an adult man.
It's just kind of how it goes.
I'm friends with that adult man.
Yeah, and he does.
But we are separate people. People don't really give a shit about the context. Or about any people involved.
Oh my god, this is actually so pathetic. Are you serious?
That's right, dude. Yeah, wag your fucking finger at me.
I thought it was just a little funny reply, you know, just for a dunk sesh. But nobody gives a fucking shit.
He's like the most cowardly.
They just care about a little Twitter like little impression.
Spineless fuck.
And Ludwig do it like this.